Hello sewmates, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to teach us how to draft and sew this corporate dress, which has an underbust lacing bar at the front. So if this is something you would like, don't forget to hit on the subscribe button, comment, like and share. So let's get right into it. So I've gone ahead to place the horizontal measurement, the lines for the front and the back. So I already divided the pattern paper into two. So you can do that by saying the largest circumference that you have plus divided by 4 plus 2 to divide your pattern paper into two. So I've gone ahead to place the shoulder line, the chest line, which is your bust divided by 6 plus 1.5, your waist, your under bust line. So the difference between the back and front waistline is 1 inch. You can see the difference there. So I also measured your waist to your hip, that's to get your upper hip line, then 2 inches below to get the lower hip line. That's why I have two lines there. Then you also get the gown length that you are working with. I already placed all the necessary horizontal lines that I will be needing. So this is for the back, shoulder to waist, shoulder to hip, and the gown length as well. So that's that for the horizontal line. Next up, I'll be placing half of your shoulder measurement on the shoulder line and on the chest line. You're going to rule a straight line across, as you can see. So the neck width I am working with for now is 3 inches, then 1 inch shoulder slope. You're still going to alter the neckline. So then you get the midpoint, then you come in by half an inch, then you connect all the points together to get the arm side I mean. So this is what we have here. So next up, you are going to be placing your bust span, half of your bust span or half of your nipple measurement on the bust point line up to the hip line. Then you rule a straight line across, just as you can see. So the dart intake. So I'm going to come down by 1 inch from the bust point line like this. Then below the waistline, I used about 6 inches. I used 6 inches for the dart length. So I went in by 0.75 on both sides. So in total, the dart intake is 1.5 inches. So you go ahead and connect all the points together, just as you can see. So at this point, I realized that I've not marked the new length. So from your shoulder to your new length, whatever you have, you deduct 3 from it. Maybe you have 39, so you remove 3, so you mark 36. So you deduct 3 from it, then you rule a straight line across, just as you can see. So from your waist, from your hip line to what you have there, you measure it on the other side for the back. So this is for tightening around the nail. So that's why we are doing this. Next up, we are going to be placing your bust measurement divided by 4, then your waist measurement divided by 4 plus the 1.5 dart intake, then your hip measurement divided by 4. You are going to be placing your hip measurement on the upper and lower hip line. Before we proceed, let's do a little bit of calculation for the nail tightening. So to do that, you say your waist circumference plus 6 divided by 2. So whatever you have, you note it down. Then next up, you are going to say your hip measurement divided by 2. So whatever you have, you note it down. So whatever you have in the first calculation, you deduct it from the second calculation. So in this case, I have about 3.5 inches. So I'm noting 3.5 inches down. Just note that down. Whatever you have, just note it down. I'm going to be using for the nail tightening. So whatever I have on my hip measurement, I'm going to mark it on the length, on the gown line I mean. So I'm just going to go ahead and connect all the points together, just as you can see. I'm going to go ahead and connect all the points together. Next up, we are going to mark the bust dart, which is the difference between the front and the back waistline. So in this case, I have 1 inch. So I'm going to connect it to the bust point, just as you can see. So next up, we're going to get the midpoint of the shoulder. So whatever you have, you connect it to the bust point, you roll a straight line across, just as you can see. Let's go to the nail tightening. So whatever you have, you share it into 3. So now you're going to be sharing it on the side front, the side back, and the center back. Side front, the side back, and the center back. So you note that in my calculation that I told you guys I had about 3.5 inches. So now I'm going to be sharing 3.5 inches into 3. So I'm going to be using 2 inches for the back while I use 1.5 inches for the front. So now I'm going to mark 1.5 inches on that new length that I have. Remember that when you get your new length, you go up by 3 inches. So now I'm going to connect it from the hip line. Then I'm also going to mark 1.5 inches so that the lines can be equal. So I'm just going to go ahead and connect all the points together just as you can see. So this is to give you this pencil feel, pencil gown kind of feel. Now we're going to be doing the shoulder tightening. So to do the shoulder tightening, you have to open up one dart and close another dart. So first, we are going to be opening up the bust dart. We are opening up the bust dart and the shoulder dart. Just like this. Open up the shoulder dart. You're not going to be cutting it out. So you can see what we have. So now you're going to go ahead and close your bust dart this way. You use your paper tape to hold it down, but I didn't use paper tape to hold it down. So when you use your paper tape to hold it down, make sure you draw the lines by the side because it's not going to be equal. I do remember to do that. So now in the case where you have 2.5 inches to 3 inches for the difference between the front and back waistline, you are going to do 25% shoulder tightening. But in a case where you have 0.5 to 2 inches as the difference between the front and back waistline, you are going to do 50% shoulder tightening. So in this case, I'm doing 50% shoulder tightening. So what I have there around that opening, I'm going to measure it and divide it by 2. You can see I placed it on that first line and I placed it out at the shoulder end. Then I indicated the 1 inch shoulder slope there. So now you're going to be closing it on that first line that we marked. You close it up using your paper tape. In this case, I'm doing 50% shoulder tightening because of the difference between the front and back waistline is just 1 inch. So now next up, I'm just going to be you close that opening that is there. You use your paper tape to close it down as well, just as you can see. So next up, you are going to redraw the shoulder line. You see, connect it this way, just as you can see. Then you connect it to the midpoint of the arm circle, just like this. Let's move to the neckline, just as you can see. So now I'm just going to determine how high I want the overbust to be. If you want your chest covered, you determine how high you want it to be. So now the length of the shoulder I'm using is about 3 inches. So now I'm going to be curving my ruler this way. But before I go ahead and curve, on that overbust line, I marked about 2.5 inches. So now I'm going to be using the curvy part of my ruler like this. Remember that the design is not straight. So I extended the line a little bit. I extended the line a little bit. So like I said, I extended the line. You can see it is not straight, it is curvy. So I extended the line a little bit after the overbust line. Just as you can see, maybe by 0.5 or 0.75, depends on you. So now you're going to use the curvy part of your ruler, place it like this and connect it to the center front. You can see because the design of the neckline isn't straight, so you curve it like this. You can see what we have. So next up, we're going to do tightening. Now this neckline is going to be wide if you don't do neckline tightening. So I connected this line to the bust point like this. Just rule a random line, then go in by 0.5 and 0.25 on both sides like this. Then you connect the points together. So now next up, you are going to be closing it up. Doing this is so that the neckline will not gape. So you're doing this, you close it up in a form of that. Then you use your paper tape to hold it down. So next up, you can see the lines are not equal. You reshape the lines like this, just as you can see. You reshape it. So next up, the shoulder too, we are going to do a little bit of tightening. So I'm going to be rolling this straight line like this, then go in by 0.25 on both sides, just as you can see. So this is so that the shoulder too doesn't give. So you are going to close it up as well in form of that. You close it up, then you use your paper tape to hold it down as well. So when you do that, you are going to reshape the line so that it's going to be equal. Because if you don't, there's going to be shortage. So this is for neckline tightening. For gape I already explained the horizontal line for the back pattern earlier. So now on the waistline, to avoid zipper bulge, so you mark 0.5 inches, 0.75 I mean. So you go ahead and connect the points like this to the shoulder line and to the hip line, like this, to the upper hip line. So next up, you are going to be placing your shoulder measurements divided by 2 on the shoulder line and on the chest line. Then you are going to rule a straight line across, just as you can see. So the neck width I use is 3 inches, then 1 inch for shoulder slope. Go ahead and connect the points, get the midpoint of the arm side, go in by half an inch, then connect the points together. So this is you getting your arm side, also known as your armhole. So now we're going to contour the shoulder. So I'm using 3 inches, just like the way I used 3 inches for the shoulder. Then I came down by 1.5 inches, then went ahead to connect the points together. So next up, you are going to be placing half of your bust span on the waistline. You place it after the 0.75 inch that you marked. You place it there. Then you add back the 0.75 inch so that you can mark it on the chest line and on the hip line. So this makes the line equal. It becomes a straight line, just as you can see. So with that intake on both sides, I use 0.75 inch on both sides. Then from the waistline downward, I mark 6 inches. So now I'm just going to go ahead and connect all the points together, just as you can see. So next up, I'm going to be placing the bust measurement divided by 4, the waist measurement divided by 4 plus the that intake. Then the hip measurements, I'm going to divide it by 4, place it on the upper and lower hip line, just as you can see. So next thing, so whatever we have for the hip measurements, so I'm labeling that the near line. So the hip measurement divided by 4, I'm going to mark it across up to the gown length for the back. So I'm just going to roll a straight line like this, connecting all the points together, just as you can see. Connect all the points together like this. So next up, we're going to do the new tightening for the back pattern. Remember that I had 3.5 inches. I used 1.5 inches. So now I'm left with 2 inches. So now on this line, I'm going to mark 1 inch because I said we're going to be taking it from the side back and the center back. So I've shared 2 inches on the side back and the center back. So now you place your ruler this way at the center back, below where you have the lower hip line like this. Then you connect it to the new length. It's not that it's going to be very curvy, just a little bit of slight curve. Then you roll a straight line like this. Then for the side, you connect the points like this. So this is what you have for the back pattern. To remove excess around the waistline at the back, so at the center back on the waistline, you mark half an inch on both sides, just like this. Then you connect it to the side of the waistline, just like this. Something. So there's something that we call waist snitching to make your waist more defined. So when you want to do a waist snitching now, remember that your darts, you replace the two darts. Replace the two darts. You know it's 0.75 for both sides. To have this waist snitching, you can just replace one of the darts. You replace one of the darts to define your waist. It will give you this snitch effect around the waistline. So if you want to replace it, you just take out the 0.75 out. That means you've taken one of the darts out and you're left with one of the darts. So this gives you waist snitching. You can do that for the front, you do it for the front and the back pattern for waist snitching. If you want to have your waist more defined, that's the essence of the waist snitching. If you want it to be more defined. I'm going to do that though. For the underbust, for that underbust listen, so you can just start the measurement from the underbust and determine how long you want it to be. Maybe like 9 inches before you get to the hip line, sure you get. Then you determine the width. So you determine the width as well, maybe 5 inches or 6 inches. So you can just cut it out as a pattern to get. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut off this. So I'm cutting out the front pattern, just as you can see. So this is what we are going to have for the front pattern. So I'm just cutting the neckline. So this is it. So for the back pattern, make sure that you close the waistline. Just as you can see, you close the waistline like this. You close it this way. Then you use your paper tape to hold it down. Use your paper tape to hold it down. So wherever you see that the lines are not connecting together, you reshape the lines. You reshape the lines for them to connect well. So this is what we have for closing of the back pattern. So now I'm just going to go ahead and cut this out. To go ahead and cut out the back pattern just as you can see. So go ahead and cut it out. Just carefully cut out your pattern like this. So this is what we have. I'm just trying to indicate the bust dart line. Just trying to indicate it. So now when you want to sew your bust dart, you are going to be sewing after 1 inch, after the 1 inch after the bust point, not directly on the bust point. So it's going to be 1 inch after. So like I said about the waist stitching, so I'm using 0.75 for the waist stitching. So I've taken out 0.75. That means I've taken one of the darts. So I've also done that for the back pattern as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut this out. So now that's that for waist stitching, to have your waist more defined. So now this is what we have for our pattern. So in the next video, I'm going to be showing us how to sew this corporate style and show you what the final looks is. So guys, don't forget to hit on the subscribe button, comment, like and share. Thank you.